Hi everyone, time for a new video. And Blind Guardian just released a new album, so I thought it was the right time to talk a little bit about their discography. I thought this could be interesting for you and fun for me to do. Blind Guardian was always one of my favorite bands ever since I discovered them when I was like I think 18 years old, more or less. The first album that I listened to was actually not a studio album, but it was the live Tokyo Tales, and I liked it immediately, and I thought those songs were very, fast and melodic and captivating. It was exactly the kind of music that I was looking for back then. I was looking for something which would be close to what Halloween were doing, because Halloween were one of my favorite bands, and this was close enough but also different enough because it was less happy, and more epic in sound, which suited me even better. I've always been a fan of fantasy stuff. I've always been playing role games and shit like that. I was always a metal nerd before being a nerd, and being into metal was cool, So honestly, it was like the perfect band for me at the time, and I really fell in love with Blind Guardian ever since. And I haven't liked everything that they have done over the years, but I like most of it, honestly, and some of their albums are among my favorites of all times, in metal music. So yeah, let's get started without further ado, and I'll split this into more videos, of course, because there's quite a few albums to talk about. So let's start from the beginning. And let's start from the very first two. I'm not going to go into the demos, the Lucifer's Heritage stuff. I'm not that underground. Let's just stick to the studio albums and to the output that Blind Guardian actually came up with. So here you have the first album, Battalions of Fear. So honestly, if this was all there is to it, to Blind Guardian, I don't think I would have become such a huge fan, because this is an album which is cool. It has some good songs, but it's more or less a run-of-the-mill speed metal from 1987, heavily influenced by the first Halloween EP and from Walls of Jericho. Definitely, it really does sound a bit like that, but on a lower level of quality. Although there is at least one song here which is absolutely amazing, and that is Majesty, of course, the first track. It's a sign of things to come. In a way, it is a song that anticipates what Blind Guardian will be famous for in later years. Which is to say, a song with many different parts, constantly changing, many riffs, a good hook on the chorus. It's a very, very, very good song, and in fact, it's the only song from this album which is still gets played live from them very often, and rightly so. It is a good one. Also, the other ones. Up until Run for the Night, which is the fifth song, and I mean Guardian of the Blind, then Wizard's Crown, I mean Trial by the Archon is just an intro to Wizard's Crown, and then Run for the Night. They are good songs, they're not bad. It's as I said, it's just that there's a run-of-the-mill speed metal in German style. Then you have the second half of the album, which is I think not as interesting, with the Martyr and the title track Battalions of Fear and By the Gates of Moria. It's Gandalf's Rebirth, CD bonus. There's lots of instrumental things and way too many guitar solos, because I mean, if you are gonna have that many guitar solos, you need to be on a different level as a guitarist. And as good as Andre is, well, first of all, he wasn't as good as it is now at the time. And then also, it's it's not something that you can really keep your attention that much, I think. So to me, this is a good debut album, but nothing more. As I said, except for Majesty, which is great. Then we get to the second album, which is Follow the Blind. Okay, so I don't think this is the very same thing as Battalions of Fear, but it's close. It's still German speed metal, still influenced by Walls of Jericho and stuff. It has two songs which became a staple in Blind Guardian's discography, and not just one. It's Banished from Sanctuary and of course Valhalla. Okay, then you have the great cover of Don't Break the Circle as a CD bonus, which is quite cool. You get their version of Barbara Ann, which is kind of a start in a tradition of Blind Guardian picking up songs from different genres and making them their own. And, this kind of the more fun part of what they have been doing. But yeah, the rest is, Follow the Blind is a cool song. Beyond the Ice, it's interesting to listen to, but honestly, it's. I don't really have much to say about Follow the Blind because it's more or less what I already said about Battalions of Fear. It's nice, it's a cool album. It has, in this case, two great songs, and the rest is fun to listen to, but not much more. Okay. So what really changed Blind Guardian's career, I think, was the third album, which we are getting into now. Here we go. Tales from the Twilight World. Okay, so this is a great piece of music. It's just great, and here you have the evolution of Blind Guardian. Songs become more interesting. Basically, every song here is worth listening to, and melodies are becoming more catchy and more interesting. Ansi as a singer is starting to evolve, coming to his own, with this, adding this grit to his voice, which someone said is a bit reminiscent of the German thrash metal singers, like Mille Petrozza from Creator and Tom and Ripper or stuff like that. I think to a certain point there's some truth to it, but it's of course a way of singing which doesn't give up on melody. And also the choirs are becoming more and more important on this album. They already have some choirs on previous efforts, but like Majesty's chorus or stuff like that. But here they are just better thought out, better recorded, and done better from every point of view. And the lyrics keep exploring all these literary and cinematographic, but especially literary references with songs about books from Stephen King, stuff from Dune, Blade Runner, talking about the no, sorry, Blade Runner is not here. I was thinking about Traveler in Time, which is about Dune, of course. I'll get confused with the Blade Runner song, which is on the next album, which we will talk later about. Anyway, with a little help from Kai Hansen as special guest, and I think it also gave them some hints and stuff. This is the repressed version, which is cool. Okay, but so basically, this is an album where real Blind Guardian comes into their own. It's still power metal, it's still tied to their speed metal roots a lot, but the songs are more complex, more interesting to listen to. They have different parts. The choruses are all great. I mean, Welcome to Dying is the the song which is most easy and very powerful and kick in the teeth, but it's the only thing, I mean, together with ballad Lord of the Rings, which is of course very nice to listen to, even if I think they improved on it on the subsequent re-recordings that they did, but the original version was still cool. And those two songs, Welcome to Die and Lord of the Rings, are more or less the singles here. Everything else is longer and well constructed and very thought out songs with lots of care put into them. Not that this, I mean, the same level of care, of course, is also in Lord of the Rings and Welcome to Dying, but they are thought about as being more direct. While stuff like Lost in the Twilight Hole or The Last Candle, they have more complexity. Obviously, this is not to the level of complexity that they will reach later on. But it's a sign, it's a sign that they are starting to do these things with great ideas and great care, and everything is so well put together. And at the same time, they managed to make them very listenable, have choruses that you will remember immediately, and sing-along stuff. So honestly, this is the beginning of what makes Blind Guardian great to me. This ability to be at the same time complex and very easy to listen to. All right, so it gets some epic masterpiece. I mean, Lost in Twilight Hole and The Last Candle. The Last Candle is such a beautiful song. The last candle will burn as hope for everyone. Where last candle burns. How can you not sing that and feel like it's uprising? This is, to me, this is what power metal is all about. Songs like this are what made the genre great, in my opinion. Okay, so it's I get goosebumps talking about this album. It's so fucking great. And then you think, well, this is a band that has done such a great album. If they keep this level, they are going to be huge, And then what they did was actually up the ante and produce something which was even better, even stronger, which is, well, we will talk about this in the next part of our Blind Guardian retrospective. So stay metal and see you soon with part 2.